Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins going to give you a brief weather update over on our streaming channel. We're tracking showers and thunderstorms in the area right now. We have a weather impact alert for the rest of tonight, tomorrow, and Friday, although I think Friday's going to get a little bit better. And breaking news a little bit now, the Hurricane Center just updated the area of development, and they have taken the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America, out of it, right? It's now off of the southeast coast of the U.S. We're talking east of Florida. You can see that orange area there, east of South Carolina, North Carolina. We're going to be talking about it over on 10 Tampa Bay Plus streaming app. That's right now. You can get it on the phone or download it to your smart TV. Okay, everybody, welcome back. That was our quick cut-in that we do on CBS Air, and then we stay here live with you on our 10 Tampa Bay Plus streaming apps. Happy to have everybody here with us for tonight. So, yeah, you kind of saw some of the headline that's out there. This is the big one. By what they do an 8 o'clock update, but just before that, the Hurricane Center says, you know what, we're going to take that hatched area, that area that we're watching for development of tropical systems, and we're going to take it out of the Gulf. And we're going to put it just completely up into the Atlantic waters southeast of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and east of Florida. Chances for development stayed at 40%. That might go up just a little bit, and I'll show you some of this coming up. But before we get there, I did want to start with some of our local weather because we've got some pretty good showers and storms out there. Now, not everybody is seeing rainfall, and not everybody is going to see rainfall, especially not at one time. But the chances will even continue overnight tonight, and especially as we heat up during the day tomorrow. So let's talk about what we have out there right now. Let's just start up north, and we'll go up towards Citrus and Hernando County. You know, this area has been seeing more rainfall rotate in from the Gulf than anybody else. And you're going to end up with some of the highest rainfall totals. Not yesterday, but the day before, we had about 2.5 to almost 3 inches of rainfall here near Inglis. Okay, today we're going to get about 2 to 3 inches altogether in parts of the Crystal River area. But you can see we had heavier rain here out in eastern Citrus County. Now, further to the south, it's kind of the same thing. It's real spotty. Look at Pasco. There's not a lot of rain, but we've got US 19 kind of wet up here near Hudson and Port Richey. And that's moving southeast towards Starkey Ranch, but even that's falling apart. Then you get into Pinellas and Hillsborough, and we have not seen much at all. I mean, southeast Hillsborough has had a little bit of rain, but you can see not much at all. Now, here's part of the problem. These are slow movers. They can put down quite a bit of rainfall, and then you see this line that's developing right here. It just kind of rains over the same area here. And Bartow, you get heavy downpour, you get a break, and then it starts to rain again. That's the type of setup that causes you to see some isolated flooding. And so that's one of the reasons why we have our weather impact alert in effect through Friday, because there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere in the next couple of days. That comes down actually a little bit on Friday, and especially into the weekend, although we still have afternoon storms this weekend. But today and Thursday, I mean, some of these are going to be real heavy, and so that's something that we need to watch. And in fact, you can see out here now, Polk County is the best chance for rain. From Citrus Ridge all the way down to Frost Proof, that 17 corridor is basically soaked right now. Getting a little bit better. It's that thunderstorm starting to fall apart a little bit, so it's maybe not as heavy. But you notice we've got this batch here and this storm here coming together, and we'll probably flare that up a little bit here in the Winter Haven, Haines City, and over to Winter Haven eventually in the next 15 to 30 minutes or so. Just rain, no severe weather is expected at this point. The only thing that we're really be watching for is the threat for some isolated flooding spots, right? Highlands County, again, we've seen so much rain. It's been on and off today, but just in the last month, really, I've been saying eastern Polk County and Highlands County have been getting a lot of rainfall. It's kind of the same thing because with this westerly wind, it's real spotty along the coast, but it fills in a little bit as it moves east. And so that's another trend that you're taking advantage of here to get more rain for the Lake Placid area. Here's a line now that's moving in through Duet. This is mainly just south of Duet, but it's going to be really close to town. But this is moving over Myakka Head. You can see it extends all the way down into Manatee and Sarasota County here, and will continue to move through the Northport area and eventually out in towards, well, Arcadia and Wauchula. You'll have to deal with part of this line if it holds together. I think at least some of it does hold together. Heavier rain down south. We actually had a flooding issue down south in Sanibel. The way that the storms were lining up, it just kept dumping a ton of rain there. And you can see what's happening right now. Even down here north of there, we're seeing quite a bit of rain. So this is the type of activity that we'll be watching for the next couple of days. And that's what we will have that alert for, okay? So satellite and radar is showing not everybody actually even seeing all cloudy skies. And that is going to be the nature of it all. So I just talked to my wife, and she says, it's going to rain on Saturday. It's going to be kind of like today. It's not going to rain that much. She's like, well, we didn't get any rain today. And I'm like, I know. But a lot of people did. Look at the map. A lot of people did get rain, but not everybody's getting it. And that's going to be the case tonight, although we'll have less rain altogether. But tomorrow's going to look similar. And especially Tampa southward is going to get more rain, but not everybody, again, is going to get it. So I'd say an average 1 to 3 inches of rainfall, but some folks could see 4 to 6, almost 7 inches of rain, just from a few heavy thunderstorms. All right. Looking offshore, we do have some more rain here, and you can see this will be pushing slowly off towards the east. Some of this will fall apart, but even as it falls apart, when it gets closer to land, I think some of it will pop up here. We'll start making new storms here. So rain chance overnight tonight. Can't rule it out either, right? That's something that we'll be watching. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the tropics, okay? Small chance, well, it's moderate. It's a moderate chance, about 40% chance at this point, okay, for development off the southeast U.S. Finally, the models today, the European and the GFS, they started to agree a little bit with each other because earlier, the GFS, it's just something's wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with it. There's something wrong with it almost a year now. But it was trying to do something here, and it literally created a pretty low pressure and then dragged it all the way over to Texas. That was last weekend, earlier this week. Now, this is the European model. Watch what it does. It has a broad area of low pressure over Florida. Then it starts to build it here, a little bit more to the east, and then it takes it up the southeast coast. You see it here? This is by Sunday. So this is Saturday, this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday it's up here over eastern North Carolina. Very weak system, okay? And once the center would be over land, it's not going to develop anyways, but we're just talking about a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, really more than anything else. It will struggle to get to a tropical storm. In fact, I don't think it gets to a tropical storm. It might just barely, but it's probably going to end up being a tropical storm or even a subtropical storm if some dry air gets wrapped in, and even that's kind of questionable. So if you're watching from East Florida, if you're watching from Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, I got lots of friends and family there, I think you're fine. The problem is it's 4th of July weekend, and that's going to bring some rain to the beach, right? We don't want that, but that I think is the possibility for many areas there. So that's the forecast model. This is the GFS. Take a look at this. This one, finally, look, it's got some, let me back it up. Watch this little yellow you'll see right there. Where is it? Right there. See that? It's clearly, that's a low where the Ville is in Jacksonville, right? And then watch as it moves kind of to the north. Very broad low pressure, drifts up towards Wilmington, towards Cape Lookout, and that's it. It's just a very, very weak system. Now, let's talk a little bit of wind, because that's what a lot of people think of. They think of wind, heavy rain, that kind of stuff. Well, we have an onshore wind here in Tampa, and we will keep that as we get going through tonight and part of tomorrow. Tomorrow night this time, I think we'll have a lot less wind. And we don't have a lot now, but it's 10 to 15 solid at times on the water and a little bit higher times. And that's kicked up the surf a little bit. So there is a rip current risk out there. So please be careful through Thursday out at the beach. Friday, Thursday night even, but Friday the winds come down. Watch this. This is Thursday into Thursday evening at 7 p.m. We still have some breezes, right, especially Tampa southward. But then notice what happens by the time we get to Friday afternoon. Much less wind for us. Now, at the same time, look what's happened over on the East Coast. Now we've got winds coming in this direction, but we're getting a low to develop. See this right in here? And that's putting winds down in this area right here. So we got winds here going around that low. And so what's going to happen is we're going to end up getting some wind like this, and that's going to put in some higher than normal tides and some high surf. Not a lot, but enough to cause a rip current risk on 4th of July weekend for Jacksonville beaches, Georgia, South Carolina. Well, these areas here, it's kind of what we call a longshore current, which means parallel to the shore. But certainly northeast Florida and Georgia beaches will have to deal with that. Now, look, it's not a lot of wind here. Let's keep going out in time here. That could be 25 to 30 knots of wind out over the water, not over land, but out over water. That could make a few little waves, okay? That is Saturday at 1 o'clock. But notice as we get into Saturday night, the system kind of drifts northward. The north side that's bringing us those northeast winds back towards Florida, now it's over land and it's gone, right? And now the only wind you're seeing is this wind that's blowing to the north and the east, okay? It's blowing in this direction, and it's going to blow it up towards the Outer Banks and really out into the Atlantic. That's okay for most areas. That means Cape Lookout will have to watch it. I'd even say down towards Southport area, you have to watch for a little bit of that. But most of that will stay offshore. And it's not a lot of wind at that, okay? That did not show a well-organized tropical system. That's the European model. It doesn't mean that that's going to happen, but that's not, we didn't see that on that, and I don't see it on the GFS either. So chances of something getting named here are really low. Right now, we're just thinking potential tropical depression, and that's only about a 40% chance. Okay, so 60% chance it doesn't. Now, let's take a look at this. We've got about 5 minutes left here. This is the forecast for the Tampa area. So this is tonight. Now, notice some of the rain that's out there right now will actually be moving over to the East Coast by the time we get towards about, what do we got, 6 o'clock now? Let's see, let's go through 2 a.m. Oh, wait a minute. This got way out of whack. Where are we at here? Oh, yes, that got, hold on, let me back up. Didn't make sense here for a minute. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit here. This is 10 o'clock tonight. That rain that's coming through that 17 corridor I showed you on the radar, that's moving out. It's moving to the east. A little bit of a break, but look, we get one or two to continue to develop. And then guess what? Hernando, Citrus County, here we go again. That's 3 in the morning. That's tonight, early tomorrow morning. Now, 7 a.m. on your Thursday morning commute, look at this. Pinellas, Hillsborough, at least northwest Pinellas, North Hillsborough, and Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus County. Seeing scattered showers and storms. Manatee and Sarasota, isolated chance, but the better chance will be to the north. Now watch what happens as we go through the morning hours. That rotates kind of down and in, and then here comes the second wave, right? Just like we saw today, just kind of waves. We're not everybody's getting rain, but then waves of rain come through. There's another one that came through at about 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. This is 6:30. You can see it's now moving east of I-75. The other lines are already over on the East Coast. Let's go out through about 2 in the morning. So 1, 2 in the morning, we've got another wave coming through. But this one, instead of coming in from the Gulf, it's now coming in from the north and northeast. It's drifting southward. That is a sign that's a little bit of a, I don't want to say a pattern change, but that's going to change up where the moist air is. There's a little bit of drier air up here, and when it's sending storms this way, it's also mixing in some drier air, and that's going to cut down on our rain chances. So this is Thursday night into Friday morning. This is 7 a.m., 8 a.m. on 4th of July. This will change, but the point being is there is a chance for showers and storms, especially Tampa southward, first part of the day. Now, we'll take a little break. This is noon. Here we go. Once we heat things up, and we will on Friday, we'll see some scattered showers and storms developing north of Tampa, including Tampa. This is 4 o'clock. Boom by the bay right there starts at 4 o'clock. We see afternoon showers and thunderstorms in Tampa in July. This is not that far out of the ordinary. This is not as much as what we have seen or will see, what we've seen today and what we'll see tomorrow. Okay, this is a little less. Now watch as we go through 9:30. This is firework time. And you can see we do have showers and storms. They're all dropping quickly from the northeast, dropping to the south. So fireworks time, Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota, Bradenton. I mean, every Lakeland, maybe drier in Lakeland. But here's the deal. This is a forecast model 2 days out. And a lot of times you want to see yourself seeing this 2 days out because you know it's going to change. Okay. My point is there will be scattered showers and storms Friday afternoon and evening. They will be drifting from the north to the south, and we will have to dodge some of those. They're out of there. That's 11 o'clock. Well, let me back it up. That went a little bit past 11 o'clock. That is 10:30, 11 o'clock right there. So delaying them, yeah, certainly. I think we could run into some delays for fireworks on Friday evening, but